Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. I just woke up, meditated a bit for 5 minutes, and I want to talk about. I've done this video before, basically, but I want to talk about it a little bit more. So, Black people and Hispanic people are Nagas. We are Nagas. We are holy serpents. Okay. That's why during so-called slavery is that And if you want to find out more of so-called slavery, check out this YouTuber called Serious Temple. Put Serious Temple slavery, and you probably will find a couple of videos of him talking about the so-called slavery stuff that I'm talking about. But and during slavery, they call us nigger. They call us the N-word. What does that mean? There is no I think there's no vowels in the African language. I could be wrong about that, but when you say nigga, 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 it means naga. It means holy serpent. Some of us, some Hispanics, can turn into the great holy serpent. It does not mean that one is better than the other. It's just they're both equal. It's just the name has to be a little bit different to compare which one's which. So a holy serpent is basically a Zeta film. If you don't know what a Zeta film is, a Zeta film means snake, and it even says it in one of the Bibles. Basically, Isaiah sees the heavens, and what does he? And what does he see? Zeta film. And they're basically snakes with wings. And they'll basically in the Zeta film are basically the gates to heaven. Basically, no evil being can go through them because they have so much energy inside of them that if an evil deity even gets close to them, they literally die and explode or decay because that's how much energy they have. You could do the same thing because you're made out of carbon. Yes, if you made out of carbon, if you're so-called Black and Hispanic and you're made out of carbon, guess what? You're part of the universe. You're part of nature. And yes, there's some white people around here that do have carbon in them because of what happened during slavery. So they have a decision to make when the government system ends, they have a decision to make. Either join their founding fathers that came here and fucking kill us, raped us, and eat us, or be a part of something that's amazing. Something that they were born to be a part of. Because in ancient times, we made Caucasian people back then. We did. Not to say the founding fathers. We didn't make the founding fathers. The founding fathers are another species. They're called orcs. We didn't make them. They came down here and they started tricking us and shit, saying that we come in peace and crap. And they saw what we made, and they saw what we look like serpents. That's why they call us the beasts in the Bible. And they decided to just make an army because they needed more of them. Did they use some of our people that we made? Most likely, because we didn't make a lot of them either. We were born, Hispanic people and Black people were literally born from the Anunnaki, and we're all part of the Anunnaki blood. We're part of their family. The reason we were created from the Anunnaki is because we were outside in the land, just doing what we do because we're made out of carbon. We're meant to be outside. Why do you think you have Puerto Ricans and Hispanics and some Black people too, doing stuff outside like gardening or planting seeds? That's what we did back then. That's what we were supposed to do anyways. That's common knowledge to some people, but some people be like, really? You have to do that? I'm like, yes, because the planet's real and she's alive and she wants you to do that. She also wants you to protect her. She made you for a reason. Basically, Hispanic people and Black people are the white blood cells to the planet. So if any virus that came in, which it did, we have to take it out. And who are these viruses? The government officials. They're the virus. Not this, we're not a writer bullshit. They're the virus. They've always been the virus since what, the 14 or the 1500s? Yes, they've been around for that long. mainly because the flood ended around the 1800s. Yes, they don't want to tell you that. But once you find that out, you'd be like, wait a minute, so the flood is actually recent? I'm like, yes. It wasn't that long ago until the flood happened. Like the famous flood from what happened. There's been other floods that happened on this planet, but that one is the most recorded, I believe, because there was very significance of some of stuff like that happening to this planet. So, and we we for crying out loud, if you look at the word nigga and naga, it literally means the same thing, serpent. So no one should not get offended of people saying nigga, except for what? You know that clip, that new clip that's going around when the guy's having a freaking twisted tea, smacks the freaking Caucasian guy because he keeps saying nigga, and then he starts punching him. He's like, "Fucking call me nigga," because you know why? Either two things. Either he has the mindset of like, "Hey, stop calling me that. That's rude." But you're Hispanic. How much you want to bet you say that to your own fucking friends, right? But you won't say it out in public. Like, fucking come on, man. You probably have friends that say that word anyways, you know? And plus, when a Caucasian person says it, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Are you trying to raise up your kundalini? The only way you could do that is if you take weed. Not smoke it, but like eat it or digest it. I mean, smoking does help. Most people be like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything. You're killing the stuff that's in the weed. Yeah, technically you are. I'm not saying that's not it, but I researched a lot of stuff about weed. And for kind of like in the other side of the fucking country, they smoke it. So to get closer to their higher self, like they literally smoke while they meditate. I've done that before, and holy shit, it is. I recommend it. Some people might be like, "Oh, I'm not doing that." Then don't do it. But hey, we all have our different journeys during the spiritual thing, spiritual paths. You know, some of us can go through portals. I've been through portals, and I don't realize it until I already went through it. That's one of the powers that I got. You can have that power too. You know, and it's just like, damn. You know, do you want to be in a new world, do you want to stay here? You know, do you want to stay in the do you want to stay in the fifth? I mean, not the fifth, the third density, and not go to the fourth or fifth. You know, we Caucasian people actually have a lifespan. Hispanic and Black people don't. Why? Because we were created that way. The cosmos is un. For crying out loud, the cosmos is carbon. So she's always going to exist. Same thing with us. We're always going to exist. But these so-called white people, basically, these orcs, basically, not the ones that we made, just the orcs that came here, like the founding fathers. They have a short lifespan. Okay, and the same, and yes, it is kind of the same way with the Caucasians that we made, because they are limited. Why? Because they're not fully carbon. They have some of them might have a little bit of carbon in them, but if you're not fully carbon, guess what? You're gonna die. And going back to what I said, it does depend on your bloodline and your ancestors. So figure that shit out, you know? And some of us already figure it out because if you have, wavy hair like I do, wavy hair, curly hair, afro hair, which I have all three, or Rastafari hair, guess what? You're carbon, you know? And the thing is, going back to Caucasian people, some Caucasian people are not actually Caucasian people. They just look like that, but their soul and their blood is totally like maybe a feline or an andromedon or something else from, or from probably from a Star series or something like that. I don't know. But you be a different type of extraterrestrial. You could be, you know? Because it all depends on your soul. What's your soul and what's your bloodline? That's the most thing that does matter. All right. And if you're so-called black and Hispanic, you're good, but it does go back to some Hispanics are not made out of carbon, like your Salvadorians. I'm Afro Salvadorian, and Afro Salvadorian is like 13% of the population in El Salvador. So I'm just like, why 13%? And why only that? For kind of loud, just recently, I think in 2019, that some Afro Salvadorians just realized that, holy shit, our ancestors are actually black. I'm more like because they saw a statue of a black person there, and they were all like, no one doesn't tell us this. We don't know the history of this. They had to do their own research because their own country doesn't want to do that shit. They don't want to tell them what the statue is because that's how that. I'm not saying the country is 100% like that, but sometimes it's like that, man. In other countries, you know. For crying out loud, the government from El Salvador is a lot of people don't like them. A lot of people don't like them, and they have the power to like literally kill a lot of people in their country. Like they just don't care. It's something that the United States government wished they could be. That's why they want to be like China. You know, that's why they're mostly going for that China mindset. You know, and it's just damn, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to say damn a lot because damn is kind of bad in a way because you're damning someone to the in a way to the pits, you know. But the reason I say that is because it's just fucked up around here. I can say fuck, shit, or piss because I mean that's what it is. Um, Shout out to RFG Chosen One. If you haven't watched his videos are great, and you know anybody that he shouts out to, I still recommend mainly you know like Remedy H, Serious Temple and shit because those people are really good at what they do. Respect to those brothers. I might not agree with them with some things. It's just minor things. It's not like a huge thing. But overall, I always will agree with them because they know their shit. They know what the fuck they're talking about, and I know what I'm talking about. It's just that some people have, again, like Ralph Smart says, there's different levels to this shit, and I'm like, for real, there is. There's different levels to this shit, you know. And going back to us being Nagas, we were worshipped. That's why in Egypt we had the cobra on top of our heads. Yes, those Egyptian gods are actually our brothers and sisters. The Sumerian gods are actually our brothers and sisters. Yes, okay. And you hear about Sqawn, which is Satan. All right, goddess Hathor from Egypt. She's our sister. Set, the one that made this whole construct up. Basically, Set is Father Time. You know, Constantine, I think, right? Or Constantine is actually the his son, which is Jesus. Yeah, and then they have it like, then they have a Sumerian guy named Amun, like Amen. You're giving his power to him every time you say that. Like when you read the Bible and you say Amen and shit, and you're giving him that power. And he's not a good deity. He's bad. The thing is, a lot of people around here saying, why is there good deities and bad deities? And I'm like, because there's a balance. You can't have one without the other. You can't. I'm sorry to tell you. And what is it? Osiris? He actually wanted to wake the people up. He was the snake in the garden. He was. He was the snake in the garden. Most people might say it was Enki. There's a thing with that. Sometimes people say Enki is good. Sometimes people say Enlil is good. I even had a dream about something like that too. But you know, we'll all find out eventually because I found out other things about Enki too. Like he got possessed. Like he went through a portal and that thing that's called the black goo. That nanotech went inside his skin and he became a psychopath. So if he did created us, he's not a good person anymore, you know. But that could have been a lie too. It's all possible, but we all gonna find this out eventually because this shit's gonna end. All right, we're gonna know the full truth because the truth can never be hidden. All right. So that's really it, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think down below. And remember, we are Nagas. And royalty. So let's act like such.